तारीख में अपने सदकात, अतियात और ज़कात कोर्ट को दें और यतीम बच्चों की जिंदगी में खुशियाँ बिखेरें।
कोर्ट UK ऑफिस
0300 123 774 court.org.uk.
Due to conflicts and poverty, Muslims around the world have already been suffering. Now the COVID-19 outbreak has left these families further devastated. This Ramadan, join hands with UKIM to share the blessings. With just £50, provide a family suhoor and iftar for the entire month and make this blessed month comforting for them too. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said whoever feeds a fasting person will earn the same reward. Feed the fasting with UKIM. Call now on 0207 387 2157.
German Doner Kebab wishes you Ramadan Kareem. Enjoy your doner after dusk with us and choose from the original Doner Kebab, the KKL, the Doner Crunch Burger, or perhaps the Boss Box and so much more. You can find your nearest GDK at GermanDonerKebab.com or bring the Ramadan experience to your doorstep by signing up for your Ramadan pack at RamadanTentProject.com. German Doner Kebab. Kebabs done right.
Now we're gradually coming out of lockdown. We can finally get out of the house and do some of the things we've all been missing, like meeting friends over a takeaway coffee or visiting family for a barbecue. Around 1 in 3 people who have COVID-19 have no symptoms and are spreading it without knowing. That could be your friend, relative, or even you. Help stop the spread by reducing travel and meeting outside. Let's take this next step safely. Remember, hands, face, space, and fresh air.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Salaam Sports with your host Sadat Akram and co-host my Aziz Arif. Assalamu alaikum Arif.
Assalamu alaikum Sadat. How are you doing?
All right, my brother. Ramzan Mubarak to all listening. Ramzan Mubarak to you.
Ramzan Mubarak to yourself as well.
How's it going? How's Ramzan going?
It's been pretty tough yesterday because went and watched a couple of games for FC Peterborough, so it's quite warm yesterday as well. And if you're out and about, then you're always walking around and doing something. So
I'll tell you what I'm missing, Ramzan, this year as well as last year because of lockdown, is the iftaris. Not doing group iftaris together, not doing family iftaris together.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough, hasn't it?
Yeah, that is the one of the best things about Ramzan when we get together and open food together. Otherwise, normally when you're eating, it's like separate time. Your kids are eating at a separate time. You're eating at a separate time. This iftari, it's all opening your fast together and sitting around the table.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
It is. Well, welcome back to Salaam Sports. We've been away for a week. We're live on 106.2 FM, Inspire 105.1 FM, live on YouTube, live on Twitter, Facebook, everything, you name it, we're there.
Have you mentioned our friends from Luton?
Yeah, Inspire FM, isn't it? Luton, 105.
Wow,
yeah.
brilliant.
Our friends, your friends. I was waiting for a phone. Have we had a phone call from Luton?
We haven't had a phone call for some time.
I think they've been in lockdown since we started Salaam Sports.
Yeah, looks like they've been locked down from Salaam Sports as well.
Yeah. Okay, so today we have the usual cricket, football. In between, snooker started. Formula One is currently going.
Interesting,
yes.
Yeah.
I think is it the second race?
It is the second race.
It's in
Italy.
It's in Italy. Oh, wow. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But first, as always, I'm going to go into cricket. Last time we were here, Pakistan were playing South Africa in the second one ODI.
Yeah.
And we thought South Africa, who posted a massive score of 341, Pakistan won't get anywhere near. Near. What happened?
What happened? Did they get anywhere near that?
They did. They got 324. Come on, Harry.
No, I know. I think that game was a fantastic advert of cricket all round.
Yeah.
Shame Pakistan, came so close and
17 runs. I mean, it was the highlight of the game was Fakhr Zaman, who got run out at 193 off 155 balls. Strike rate of 124,
ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, he sort of like reminds me of myself.
Does he? I thought you were more the
test match
player. Yeah.
No, I can adapt. But what was there was a controversy?
There was a controversy, wasn't there?
Yeah. What was it? Go on.
Was it to do with he hit the ball? Was it caught or did the ball hit the hat or something? There was one of those, wasn't it, as well?
No, it was. There was actually.
There you go.
And then we didn't get a run on that. That wasn't.
That should have come. That should have been five runs. Yeah.
Okay. That was that in the same game? I think that was.
In the same game. Yeah.
Yeah. Is as the one of the fielders saved the ball, dived to save the ball, but as he fell, the hat dropped on and hit the ball.
The ball hit the hat.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So that would have been 5 runs, and then on top of that, there was the actual run out of Fakhar Zaman, how he got out.
Yeah, a bit of bad sportsmanship, don't you?
Well, I think so. Yeah,
I
think so. I mean, at the time, the commentators, it's a clever play, and
that's ridiculous, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and
I mean, it's not in the rule of the games, is it? Or
no, in the law. The law is 41.5. It's called fake fielding law.
Yeah,
the way I do my research.
Wow, Sadat, where did you pull that stat out from?
Well, I mean, I'm good at these sort of stuff. It's now image is not here. I'm allowed to shine.
You're certainly shining.
Yeah, so that law is saying basically, without reading the whole law out, is you can't put off a batsman when he's running or deceive a batsman while he's running, and that's what happened in this particular run. I think it was on the second run. Fakhar Zaman was running back to Dumini.
So the gentleman's sport that we've all been part of and we all respect and everything is now not becoming so much of a gentleman's sport. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, not at that particular moment.
Yeah.
You saw the ball.
But you're seeing a lot more moments like that, Sadat, aren't you? You're seeing, decisions which are going against you. The umpires don't know the full rules either.
Yeah, laws. It's the laws in the game of cricket. Yeah, so no, agreed. I don't know. I'm assuming the umpire must have known the law. It just didn't pick it up at that time because it's a very rare thing to happen. But the wicketkeeper of South Africa, I forgot his name now. I was going to say it's Dumini, but it's not Dumini. It's somebody else. It's the captain.
Boucher.
No, not Boucher. He's retired now. He's long gone. So it was. They were running for 2. He was running back to the wicketkeeper end. But the wicketkeeper indicated the ball's been thrown at the non-striker end, at the bowler's end. So therefore, Fakhar slowed down, and then the ball comes in, and he runs him out, and then laughs about how he was quite happy that what he did, he's deceived him. He
was very happy with that.
He was happy with it. The commentators had a bit of a laugh at it at the time. I didn't hear all the comments after that. But what if the umpires believe? I mean, it could be the umpires could think, that he didn't deceive, because it's obviously interpretation of the umpires that they believe in the law. If they believe that a player has deliberately,
but
deceived.
It was deliberate. If you look at the way,
but they're going to say, was he deceived? Should the batsman be knowing where the ball's going anyway? He shouldn't be deceived. He shouldn't look at the wicket keeper. All sorts. Obviously, when these sort of things happen, they'll say, "Well, this is
kidology."
Yeah. So, because he was deceived, what should have, if it was interpreted as being deceived, it should have been another 5 runs to Pakistan.
It should have,
and that would have been a no ball. So an extra ball.
And a 6 off that ball.
Yes, that's it. So that's 10. So the 5 runs there, that's 10 runs. They lost by 17 runs.
Yeah, they played pretty well. I think, if anything, the result probably doesn't do Pakistan any justice. But I think the performance and the fact that sort of was the catalyst to the performances they've had after that, and I think the confidence Pakistan have got since then, it's been immense.
Yeah, I mean, look, how many times have we said that's just Pakistan? You just what was it? Throw the coins in the air or some balls.
No, that was somebody of we've got to be careful of what we say here because it gets construed, and the wrong people take it the wrong way.
Look, I think was it yesterday, somebody, again, without going, I don't want to side off from cricket, but football, someone was talking about, after City had lost the game to Chelsea in the FA Cup, saying, United might have a chance here. If City start losing, they could win. I said, look,
would you believe it? I've got a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, who's already tipped United for the league. So
I said to him, not only does City have to lose the games, United actually have to win all their games.
Absolutely.
And with respect, United, I feel sometimes are a bit like the Pakistani cricket team, and that's where I was going with this. It's just like you just don't. On their day, they can beat City like they have. But then they can just lose to the team Sheffield United, for example.
Absolutely.
So it's a weird one. So that was that made the series interesting because it made it 1-1.
Yeah.
So Pakistan had won the first ODI, which we'd covered in our previous show. This ODI was happening as we were on the show. Then the week we missed, Pakistan came back with a win after scoring 320. So another high scoring.
Was that? Did the South Africans bat first in that? I can't remember.
No, in that one, Pakistan batted first.
Yeah.
Scored 320. South Africa got to 292.
Yeah.
So
it was a slow, sluggish performance for South Africa.
It was.
But I think it was the performance was fantastic by.
It was Fakhar Zaman again. Yeah. So that was 2 games in a row. So he got his 193 in that one where he got controversy run out. It could have actually won us the game had he not been. And then he got 101 off 104 balls. So not as great of a strike rate as before, but over 100 again. Still, and that made it 2-1. And that was the end of the series. But the interesting also in the second one was Barbara scored 94 off 82. Yeah. And that made him number 1.
Yeah.
ODA 1.
I think I've had a little bit more time to analyse Babar Azam and his performance.
Junaid Khalid has just commented, sorry, on Facebook, sorry to interrupt you. Speaking of cricket, have you seen Babar has topped the ODI ranking for batsmen? Yes, I have.
Yes.
He's knocked Kohli off his perch. Junaid, who was the previous batsman, Pakistani batsman, who was ranked world number 1? Let me see if you know that one without Googling it.
And I'm sure he's going to Google it. Okay. But just talking about Babar Azam, do you think he gets a credit that he deserves in terms of, if you look at his batting, the way he's silky, the way he just waits for that ball to come on, and then, he's just such an elegant player. Brilliant, How have Pakistan produced such a superstar of a player? And do you think he gets all the credit he deserves? I think in Pakistan he does.
I think he
does. But I think
the
world, are we now understanding how good this guy is?
I think that, I think you're right. And we've probably touched about this previously. He did not get the credit. He does not he did not. Sorry, he does not get the credit as does a Kohli or as does Smith.
Warner.
Warner, yeah. All those other players out there. I mean, Kohli's been 41 months, I believe he's been on world ranking number 1. So I think to answer even more critically, he has to be. It's a great, Kohli.
Yeah, of course he is.
But by this discussion, I'm not by any means putting down the other batsmen. I just don't think Babar Azam gets the same amount of credit as he should compared to the other batsmen. He is now number 1 in the world.
If you let's just have a look.
Khalid has responded. He said Javed Miandad. No Google. No, it wasn't Javed Miandad. He was once. He was, but he wasn't the last one to do it. Pakistan have only had 4 players, including Babar Azam, at world number 1.
Really?
Yeah, after Javed Miandad, there was another one batsman who did it.
Was it? It wasn't Inzi, was it?
I was surprised when I looked this up. I thought it'd be Inzamam Haq.
Sayyid was?
No, not Sayyid Anwar.
Yunus Johana? Mohammed Yusuf?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Mohammed Yusuf was another elegant batsman, wasn't
Brilliant. He was superb. Pre-T20s, wasn't he? Because obviously he didn't get any T20s, so it was the one day I was in Test match. He was Mr. Consistent. He was the Brian Lara for West Indies. He did for Pakistan. He carried them.
What makes it so much more interesting is the fact that when Kohli has, he's got a great group of players that he plays alongside. So, the pressure isn't as much as it is on somebody like Babar Azam. And I'd say similar to somebody like Smith. They've all had good teams. Pakistan has not had the greatest team in terms of, we're not up there when it comes to rankings. We're not consistent enough.
Not consistent enough,
to have fantastic performances, and that's what makes it even more special. And the fact that he's only 25 years of age, and what a talent!
Yeah,
what an absolute talent he is.
I think I agree. The thing is, there's added pressure because he hasn't got great batsmen around him either. And Pakistan, correct me, I mean, Junaid is listening obviously, and he knows his cricket. I've never been the best batting team. They've always been known for their bowling. They have great bowlers, So whenever Pakistan get in trouble, the bowlers seem to help them out. I mean, in this particular series, like 341. Pakistan, okay, lost that one by 17 runs, but got close to it. 320, they won the final one. I was of the impression anything over 250, 270, Pakistan will always struggle to get and chase.
Yeah, I think this track was a batting track.
Yep.
Yeah. But in saying
there
that,
were smaller boundaries as well, I believe.
But just saying that, I think South Africa did bat second, and they were nowhere.
Yeah. So they
So-
won the series 2-1, which then went nicely to the like I say, Babar Azam came world number one at the end of that, and then went on to the T20. So Pakistan first T20, 140 for 9. Again, it was a bit of a collapse again in that after playing so well.
The top order of Pakistan cricket team is right now is getting there. Their performances are improving. I think the middle order, they're struggling with their middle order.
Yeah, I do. And Junaid again's made a good point here. He goes, if you look at England team, all 11 players can bat. Yeah, so all we have, I mean, I think the spinner who's batted from number 1 to 11, our own, his name's lost me now, our up-and-up spinner Pakistani player who plays for England.
Sakleen Mushtaq.
No.
Moeen Ali.
Moeen Ali, that's it. I knew you'd get there before me. Moeen Ali. He's batted from opening all the way to, I think, number 8, I think is his lowest has been. But yeah, they bat all the way. Pakistan only have 2 or 3 consistent batsmen, but no discipline with their batting. I just think Pakistan have no discipline, full stop sometimes if it comes to their batting, their fielding, or bowling at times.
Do you think Pakistan have a structure in place where they nurture players, not to get them ready for the next tournament, to get them ready for the tournament after, to get them ready for the next 5 years? You know, do they have a system in place?
I don't think they do.
Where, you know, they're going to encourage batsmen, train batsmen?
I think most of the things that come out from Pakistan, be it the batsman or the bowler, is just natural talent.
Yeah.
You know, you pick up a player, they're playing, you know, you always hear Habib Bank playing HSBC Bank or whatever, but there's no real structure of county cricket within Pakistan itself. And then you see these players and pick up, it's like a bit like the PSL. You see, out of that, we're getting great bowlers.
Yeah.
But batsmen are just still don't seem to be there. But the reason why PSL is so, they're saying is so good up there with the IPLs and it is because the bowling is just so fierce and fast and, you know, compared to
which is brilliant, isn't it? And I think if they can get their structure in order, Pakistan can be the top team or one of the top teams in the world. There's no reason why not. And look, they're working on it. They've got a few decent batsmen in now. So Junaid makes a very good point as well. So the middle order is too inconsistent. They can either hit 350 or make less than 100. I haven't seen them hit 350. I think
they got close, didn't they? But it's like the final in the ICC Trophy when they beat India.
Yeah.
Such a strong team, India who had demolished Pakistan in the first game.
I was at that game, by the way.
I know you were at that game. But when when Pakistan got that score, it was 300 plus, if I can remember off the top of my head.
They got 340 or didn't they?
It was definitely above 300, and it was very rare to see Pakistan get over 300.
Yeah.
But we were thinking, I remember watching the game, I thought, if there's any one team that can get that 300.
And do you know, India were at break, when they had their break at that time. India fans, supporters, they're all confident. They're all confident. They said, "Look, don't worry, we're going to get that."
As a Pakistan supporter, I wasn't confident that we were going to win it, even with that with a big score like that. Because I thought, you know, with the talent that India have got, but Mohammad Amir was just something different on that day.
He was, and Fakhar Zaman scored the century as well, if you remember that day.
Yes, so, he did. Yes. I think he was dropped earlier. He smashed
I think he was. I'm not entirely sure.
I think during that tournament, any game that he played, Pakistan had won. So the game that they originally played with India, he wasn't in the team. And then,
I went to the semi-final. The semi-final was against England, and such a brilliant performance against England. I think that was at Southampton, I believe, or Cardiff, I can't remember. And beautiful day. And when they're on it, they're on it. We all know that. But when the going gets tough, I think that's when you can tell the difference between, you know, up there and somebody who's not as much of a quality as he should be.
Yeah. No, agreed. So, like I said, the first game, Pakistan at T20 didn't do great, 140. It was done by South Africa quite easily, 141, winning by 6 wickets. Barber, again, got 50 in that game, so he did his part, I suppose, if you want to say. But then the second game after that, and then I think in the first game, Rizwan, who opens for Pakistan in the T20, is a decent
doing pretty well, yeah.
He got out on the very first ball, again, trying to smash it for his six. But in the very next game, 205 Pakistan get to beat 203 South Africa, so smash it with 203. I think the boundaries were a bit small, must have been. But 203, it's very rare you get 200 plus in a T20 game.
Absolutely.
So South Africa got that. And Pakistan, not only did they get that, they got it by only losing 1 wicket.
Yeah.
So Rizwan and Barber were smashing it all over the park. Barber got his first
Barber
100.
That was one of the best performances I've ever seen.
It took him only 122 of 59 balls.
What a performance.
It was unbelievable. It was just something different when I was watching it. It was amazing. Absolutely not seeing a performance like that.
So where do you think, Sadat, where do you think Pakistan can go right now? Where do you think they're lacking? And
the thing is, their next tour now, I think they're going to Zimbabwe. I think it's in 2 weeks' time, or maybe even earlier than that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I know it sounds like a broken record, but Pakistan is the sort of team who, after having a great series victory at South Africa, could simply lose at Zimbabwe, with no disrespect to Zimbabwe. Yeah. But that's the sort of team that they are. They seem to start some sort of momentum, but then they collapse again and crash. But it is very much...
They do need to play the top teams, the South Africans, the Indians, the Australians, on a regular basis. And I think that's the only way they're going to get to that standard that they're trying to achieve. And I believe they're not getting the opportunities. World cricket is still against Pakistan and playing regularly at home.
Well, South Africa, England, have committed to go into October, I think, September, October.
But is it just the one days or is it test matches as well?
I'm not sure. I think you're right. I think it's just again, if it is at most one test, a couple of 1 days and T20s.
Which is not fair, really.
No, but I mean, if you're Pakistan, you don't want to say no to anything you get.
You've got to, whatever you can get. I think it's unfair. I think it's not right.
No. It's the same, though, isn't it? When Pakistan come to England, they only get like 2 or 3 test matches, not the 5 test match series that Pakistan used to get, to be honest with you. For some reason, they squash them in with a couple of test matches here because of the schedules. And, it takes them a couple of test matches just to get used to the conditions when you go to a different country.
That was always the case, wasn't it? They used to go a little bit earlier and play a few the club games and then try to get their performances right for them.
We've got Ishfaq watching, as always. Mohammed Jamil also joined us. Assalamu alaikum to you all. Ishfaq's put a very important question out there, which I have to go there.
I'm sure you're going to talk about this.
We will do, but I have to put the question out there. Who's Liverpool got in the next round of the Champions League? Well, if you stay tuned to the second half, we will answer that question. No doubt Arif will tell you.
Ishfaq Ali has got no life. Yeah, he's sitting in Turkey right now.
Is he Turkey?
Yeah, he's in Turkey. And all he can talk about is United being second. If that's what he's looking at, and if he's happy with that, then good luck to the lad.
He goes on to say he wants to know what shampoo I use. Hair's on point. I would say, but I can't do advertising. I can't tell you.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't know he was in Turkey.
Yeah, he's isolated in Turkey.
Oh, okay. Yes. Right, so great victory for Pakistan and South Africa. They went to play the 1 days and T20s only, no test match. No, there was no test match. Yeah,
no,
so that was it. Matches, so they won both of them. I can't remember the last time Pakistan winning in South Africa actually. So kudos to them. Congratulations. Well done. Before moving on to Formula One, which I expect you to tell me everything about and what's going on at the moment. Snooker's also kicked off.
Yeah,
if that's the right term, we could say kicked off. World Championship. O'Sullivan won his first game, and Yang Bingtou's also won. There's actually crowd.
There's a crowd, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sullivan's not happy with the crowd, though, is he?
He had one particular fan, wasn't he, who got a bit rowdy. Apparently, he was a bit drunk or something.
No, but I think he was saying that he doesn't want the fans to get too close to him.
Yeah, he's been asking for protection from fans, isn't he, in general, because you always get a few. Snooker's, again, what sport's coming to? Snooker's never been that sort of sport, is it? Where you get rowdy fans? It's really quiet.
You've got to have the utmost quietness in a snooker match. So even the slightest pin drop, it upsets people. So it shouldn't be like that. But you get the odd fan. But it's fantastic to see the fans being back at stadiums and at places like snooker. So hopefully we're back to some sort of normality.
Well, fans are expected today at the semi-final of the FA Cup between, is it Leicester and
Southampton?
Southampton, isn't it? Yeah. So there wasn't any yesterday, but I think it's 4,000 fans.
Just going back on the old point, Amjad Aslam has commented. Last time Pakistan won in South Africa was 2013, so it's been 8 years. So they've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, but how many times have they played South Africa in those? Come on, and give me that. How many times have they played? I mean, if you say last time they won 2013.
He's answered your question.
Last time we were in South Africa was 2013, then it's not going to make much of a difference. But it is rare Pakistan winning in countries like South Africa and Australia out of the two. They've won in India. They've won in England, but those two out of the dominant. I mean, obviously there's others. There's West Indies. They've also struggled in the West Indies, to be honest.
Or recently, or in the past?
Previously in the past with the Curtly Ambroses.
Yeah,
and
but you're talking about 30 years ago.
Again, Pakistan doesn't travel. I think when's the last time Pakistan went to West Indies? I can't remember. Unless I've missed something recently. They've been. I don't remember. So. But they're the teams that you want to beat, and then, like we said, South Africa, India, Australia, and England at the moment. But yeah.
So what's happening with the snooker at the moment, Sadat?
Snooker, like I say, Ollie Sullivan won his first game 10-4, and the reigning Masters champion won his game 10-6. I haven't seen much.
I know you've got 58 seconds left. Yeah. I've got a question for you, Sadat.
Oh, here we go.
I heard people, the likes of Stephen Hendry
he's back.
And Jimmy White played in this tournament originally. Did they, or it was out?
I don't know if they were Tribune qualifiers, but I'll try to find out about that a bit more for next week for you, Arif. I'll be honest with you. I did see Stephen Hendry's come out of retirement, and there were shouts that he shouldn't have because he played awfully against, I think it was probably against Jimmy White he played or something.
Yeah, but he beat Jimmy White, I think.
Oh, did he beat Jimmy White?
Yeah, I think he beat Jimmy White. So.
Okay, all right. Well, if there's any snooker fans, let us know. We'll go into a break now. I didn't get to speak about Formula One.
We'll come back.
We'll come back and we'll talk about Formula One and obviously answer that big question. Who's Liverpool got in the Champions League? See you after this break, inshallah.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
Looking to improve your living space? Plan your dream home with AB Joinery Kitchens and Bedrooms. We design, manufacture and install your perfect kitchen or bedroom to your personal space and taste with clever storage utilising every inch. We pride ourselves on our exquisite attention to detail. Let AB Joinery Kitchens and Bedrooms plan your perfectly tailored space fitted around you. We also offer bespoke services for understairs storage, TV units and feature walls, all designed and manufactured by us. Call us now on 01733 686 767 or visit abjkitchensandbedrooms.co.uk. Open to the trade and public. AB Joinery Kitchens and Bedrooms, Unit 3 Brassey Close, Peterborough, PE1 2AZ. Plan your dream home with us. abjkitchensandbedrooms.co.uk.
Awarded the UK's Best Muslim Charity of the Year, Muslim Global Relief, bringing hope to life for 20 years in over 40 countries around the world. Every water pump you helped to install, every needy person you helped to feed, every orphan child that you sent to school has a powerful impact on people's lives. Let us continue to make change. Make a 100% zakat donation today. Visit muslimglobalrelief.org.
Where can you get high quality and low prices? Amar Food Store and Halal Meat in Lincoln Road, Triangle is the place to go. Pay us a visit and take advantage of our special offers and great range of products on groceries, vegetables, fruits and halal meat. Also send money to Pakistan absolutely free. We have all top brands at special offers, offer free customer parking and provide a free local delivery service. Amar Food Store and Halal Meat, 613B Lincoln Road, Peterborough. Call us on 01733 687 374. High in quality, low in prices.
Bowel cancer screening saves lives. If you're aged 60 to 74, the NHS will send you a free bowel cancer home testing kit every 2 years. Please complete the home testing kit when you receive it. It's easy and hygienic to use your kit, and it could save your life. Find out more by visiting Cambridgeshire and Peterborough ccg.nhs.uk and searching bowel cancer.
German Doner Kebab wishes you Ramadan Kareem. Enjoy your doner after dusk with us and choose from the original Doner Kebab, the KKL, the Doner Crunch Burger, or perhaps the Boss Box and so much more. You can find your nearest GDK at GermanDonerKebab.com or bring the Ramadan experience to your doorstep by signing up for your Ramadan pack at RamadanTentProject.com. German Doner Kebab. Kebabs done right.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the second half of Salaam Sports with myself, Sadat, Akram and Arif Aziz. And I believe I'm going to try this by pressing a button. We should have Bidan. Hello, Bidan.
Can you hear me?
Yes, of course I can hear you, my friend.
It's the standard thing, like Zoom calls at the beginning of every kind of Zoom call or any call like that. You're like, oh, can you hear me? Can you see me?
How are you, Bidan? How was your week?
It was good week. Just, I mean, are you talking from a sports perspective, or are you from
generally?
Just generally, Bidan.
Yeah, just nice to know how you are.
We're not image, we care about you.
Been playing football this morning. I scored an absolute
do you play football?
Yeah, I play football. Yeah, I'm more of a goalie than I am an outfield guy. Well, especially at the standard of the place that I play at the minute. I'm just like it's very high standard out in the field. So I go in there.
Did you score? Did you score today then?
Yeah, I scored an absolute belter.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah. But yeah, look, good stuff. Really. Nice.
Would you say you're up to the Images standard or?
No. Images we all used to play at university, and Image, he just used to run our midfield, and he was a very, very good player. So
Oh, we're glad that you used past tense.
Yeah, it was.
No, but there was another Peterborough guy. Ali, do you know Ali Valji?
Ali Valji, yeah, heard of him and played with him as well.
Yeah, Ali Valji was also very sought after, and I think he brought that guy Gidsy down a couple of times. He was decent, so it was good times, good memories.
So you never had proper footballers though. No offense. Let's keep it at that. So going back here, I think let's just discuss. Let's just finish off discussing Formula One. Formula One right now. I've just checked recently.
Yep.
They've actually stopped the race due to some accident. Hamilton spun off or something. So Don't know what's happening with that. We'll get to hear about that soon. And
so, if the accident happened to stop the race, did they complete the race?
They normally complete the race. Yeah, they always stop and restart it again. So hopefully.
And Hamilton was involved in the crash. Are you saying?
Hamilton spun off. That's all I know.
Oh,
I don't really have anything else to add to that.
Okay.
So
we'll pick that up.
So
again
Bidan, let's talk about football. Let's start with Fulham. Fulham drew 1-1 today. They've been one of those nearly teams, haven't they? Their performances have been very, very good at times. Do you think they deserve the drop? Right now, they're struggling to get those 3 points.
So they're 27 points.
Well, I think obviously they got promoted too early. I think like they went down, didn't they, last season before last, and then they kind of got through through the playoffs, and you just thought there was a rebuilding job that needed to be done. And Scott Parker was obviously ahead of schedule. They got promoted via the playoffs, and I think it came a little too early for them. But look, as they say, the table doesn't lie. And Newcastle yesterday managed to get a
3
vital
points, yeah.
victory against a very informed West Ham.
Absolutely.
And it's now looking very grim. I think that they're 5 points behind the team in front of them, having played 2 games more.
Yeah.
So if Burnley win this weekend, I don't know if they've played yet.
I think they've got a big game. Big game,
us, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're 6 points behind because Fulham were 26 before. Now they've got 27.
I think had Fulham won today, Burnley would have had a little bit more pressure on them to perform today. Right now, they're probably not gonna be as pressurized. But there's a stat out there. Sam, who's a Burnley?
Sam Allardyce.
Who's Burnley manager?
Oh, Burnley manager is
Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
Sean Dyche has not lost to United in 4 games, and he can be the first player in history, I believe, to have not lost the first 5 games if that happens today.
But we beat them at Turf Moor. Oh, are you talking about
Old Trafford?
Old Trafford.
Old Trafford.
Okay. Oh wow. Well, hopefully that's not going to happen. But I mean, look, I think that United we're in good form. Obviously, look, low block teams coming to United always do cause us problems. But and it's a shame that Cavani's not playing today because I think that he would have. He was sensational against Tottenham. I thought.
Yeah, yes, he was.
He was a joy to behold. And didn't think there was any real need to play him against Granada. I think we need to have kept. I'd rather than being kept fresh for today. But it's Greenwood, Rashford, and
I think he needed a little bit of a chance with Cavani. He's had a stop-start career to his United career. He's got injured, I think once or twice. He's not been available for each game.
Yeah,
They've
he got
not selected
injured
him.
and he got banned.
So
for his
I think he needed
comments.
that game under his belt, and that performance was scintillating from him.
Well, talking about that game, okay.
I think
Tottenham is what I want to concentrate a bit as well with Mourinho. Did you see that incident where the goal was disallowed at Son?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
What's your thoughts on that?
I think that the game's gone a little bit bonkers, and I think Bidan will probably agree with me on this VAR stuff now.
Do you know what I think? I genuinely think that I was watching my brother and I said they're going to disallow this because I think that there's maybe for the bigger teams, but I think for United as well, is that it's got to that point where obviously there was such a clamour for like that United, it was deemed that United were getting a lot of decisions. I think referees do get nervous to sort of get involved in controversial decisions, but then again, that was pretty obviously not a foul.
Yeah, it's not as if you didn't see it.
I think if it happened the way it happened, I'm talking about a split second, the decision being made, the referee makes a decision. I think that's fair. Yeah, if the referee hadn't called it, look, he's only touched him. But once you see it on the monitor, it looks worse than what it actually is. It's just a flick, isn't it? It happens all the time.
Yeah, there's 2 things. It happens all the time, like I say, it's a flick. The reaction of the player, in particular, him staying down for so long.
He was down for about 10 minutes. Had to call the ambulance or something, didn't he?
Yeah, so he was quite down. But does the player have to go down to get a free kick? He's thinking, well, if I don't go down, I'm not going to get a free kick.
Well, it's interesting you say that because in the 3rd goal, Pogba did exactly the same thing to Eric Dyer.
Yes, and
Eric
he did
Dyer
go.
stayed on his feet.
Yes.
So, but look, I think the whole thing was just pathetic. I mean, like Son going down, holding his face, and all that was pathetic. And I also thought that the whole thing after the game with Mourinho and obviously Ollie Solskjaer makes a tongue-in-cheek comment. It's a metaphorical comment, really. It's not really. I think
he could have used some different words there, different phrases.
Well, I don't know. I think it's just metaphorical. Do you know what I mean? If you say if you're over the moon, you don't literally go over the moon, do you? And if you just says, I'm not feeding my kids, like he's just being a bit like, like what once my friend said. My friend up in Manchester, I said, he says, my son's getting into football. I said, I support United. He goes, yeah, if he supported City, I'd kick him out of the house. He doesn't really mean that.
No.
So, it's just, it's just, I don't know. It was just.
Do you know what? Do you know what, Badan? I told my daughters, if they do not support Liverpool, they're not going to be staying in the house. And I actually meant it. So since then, they are hardcore Liverpool supporters. With my son, I should have done that.
Well, don't tell Jose Mourinho that; he'll go insane. But yeah, look, it was all just a bit pathetic. But look, I think that luckily for United,
it didn't matter.
They managed to claw it back, and it was a great game.
What do you think about Mourinho as a manager? Because right now. Beginning of the season, you thought, wow, this guy's going to win the league. I mean, so many things have happened. We thought Liverpool were going to win the league, City were going to win the league, United are very close to winning the league apparently. But saying that, a lot's changed for Tottenham recently in terms of, I think, the last 3 months. They've gone from being one of the top teams to really struggling to find performances, and Mourinho's now back doing what he's good at, which is moaning.
Well, yeah, I think that, look, as Mourinho is a manager, they say that the game's passed him by and he's gone and all this kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, I can have a certain amount of sympathy for him at United in the sense that, he never quite got over that second summer. Like, he had a brilliant first summer in the transfer market, brought in Ibrahimovic, Pogba, Mkhitaryan, but the second transfer, the second summer, he only got Fred, and I just don't think he was happy with that.
No, he was shouting out for a defender.
I think he was after a defender, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But he wanted all these really weak. He wanted the thing about obviously he thinks very short term, so he's very Sorry, that was the third season he only got Fred, and that's what led to the meltdown. I think second season he got Lukaku, didn't he, and somebody else. But I think that with he wanted people like established people in their late 20s, and United should, if we didn't have the owners we had, United should be able to just buy players like that, and then you get a couple of years out of them, and you should go back into the market. But the Glazers love their resale value players, so he wasn't able to go and get your Boatengs. Not that I rate Boateng, or he wasn't able to get your Perisic or your Willians and all that kind of stuff, which is what he wanted. And and I think that once it dawned on him that that it wasn't going to happen for him, he just kind of pushed the self-destruct button. So, and I think that at Tottenham as well, I think he thinks that the job is beyond him, and for him the next step is he just needs to wait for the PSG job to come on.
Do you think the previous manager though, Pochettino, wasn't he doing a better job than at Tottenham than Mourinho then?
Well, he got him to the Champions League final, didn't he?
With his same set of players.
They were finishing top 4 consistently.
Yeah, and look, the thing is that a lot of I know a lot of Spurs fans who absolutely despise Mourinho, and one of them put on Twitter the other day, he said, I'm just thinking back to that day where I watched Bayern Munich beat Tottenham 7-2 at White Hart Lane, and someone behind him shouted, "Oh, it's time for Poch to go." And then he turned around to him and said, "Look, where were we before Poch? We dreamed of qualifying for the Champions League, and now we got turned over by this team that obviously they went on to win the treble." And it's just he said that Maurizio Pochettino turned Tottenham into a team that thought that they were good enough to sack Maurizio Pochettino.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Because the expectation, it's like when Newcastle sacked Bobby Robson because they weren't in title races, they were only finishing in the top 4. And, the club never recovered from that. So I think Tottenham, sacking Pochettino, look, something had gone on, and he'd lost maybe the dressing room, maybe something subconsciously, had happened, and it wasn't working out. But the bottom line is that, Mourinho's come in, he's not doing a great job. The players that he said were brilliant. I think didn't he come in and say he had a better squad than the one he left behind at Man United, and he was heaping praise on the players, and now all of a sudden these same players are the ones who are at fault, and it's never him.
Yeah. It's typical Mourinho, isn't it?
I think, that's a problem. I think Mourinho sort of after he'd been to United, Chelsea when he second stint, he's not been the same manager, and I think some of it is probably linked to the fact that. When he was saying to Arsene Wenger, you're a specialist in failure, and I think he's going down that route right now. I think we should move on.
Well, let's answer the question that was asked by Ishi, who...
I think we'll start off with that. I think
Champions League.
Yeah, Champions League. I think Liverpool, we've obviously seen it's been a difficult year for them in terms of performances and trying to get... their performance.
Would you put it down just to missing that one defender, or maybe just to not having supporters?
I think it's a number of things. It's a few factors. You can't really pin yourself on one person. I think, at times Klopp's not got things right in terms of he's played the wrong players in defence, and he's not had the defenders.
The defender made a mistake, didn't he, in the Champions League first leg, wasn't it, when they lost 3-1? The one that we were discussing, the right back for England.
Yeah.
Name slipped my mind. Trent, yeah. He made a big error, didn't he, for the game?
He did, yeah.
And the point on the argument again rose, is he good enough for England? Because attacking-wise, yes, but when you're playing a team in the World Cup, I don't know, Brazil or Portugal, you want someone to defend, he's not your man. Someone like Wan-Bissaka would be.
I think England are blessed with so many fantastic fullbacks right now, and even though as an attacker Trent is brilliant, defensively I think he needs to just improve on his performances a little bit.
Would you still take Trent then over a defensive?
I would take Trent all day long. I'd always take Trent right now. Looking at what players England have, he may not play regularly, but I think I'd still take Trent.
Liverpool to get into the next season Champions League while we're on Liverpool and Champions League?
I think it's in their hands, really. If they win all their games, then there's an opportunity they can do it.
If Chelsea win all their games, I think Liverpool still got to play United, haven't they?
Yeah, you've also got Leicester who are struggling right now, and you've got West Ham who lost yesterday. So look, it's not going to be easy for them. And really, do they deserve it? Have they played well enough throughout the season to get into the top four? Not sure of that. They've had a lot of poor games, and the performance against Madrid on Wednesday was a poor performance. They didn't really look like as if they were going to break Madrid down, although in saying all that, they missed hell of a lot of chances. And I think,
I'll be honest, I didn't watch the game. So what, Liverpool had chances though?
Yeah, you've got to, if you're playing as for one of the top teams in the world, then you've got to put your chances away, and that's what's happened. They haven't put their chances away.
I didn't watch that game. I only tuned in for the last 5 minutes just to make sure they went out.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was watching City v Dortmund because, oh my God, what a game that was! Like Foden and Bellingham.
Yeah.
I think they should. After watching that, I think they've both got to start.
Really?
At Euro 2021. Yeah. I mean, forget Grealish. Right, Grealish isn't on that level. And I know if we play a holding player like Joel, as we call him, Rice, or maybe Henderson. But we've got to play Foden and like Bellingham. I think has to go to Euro.
He didn't start Foden in the FA Cup semi-final either, did he? Which I thought was a surprise.
Yeah,
Pep got his tactics all kinds of wrong in that game. He played seven defensive players, and they just wanted to. He just got it wrong, and I don't know what the thought process was.
And you've also got Sterling. Sorry to jump in there. You got Sterling who's struggling right now. I mean, what was it? A few months ago, he was being touted as the best English forward after Harry Kane. So he's gone off the boil now as well, hasn't he?
He could lose his. I mean, look. The thing is, Southgate, he's got loyalty, so I think he will. Sterling will keep his place. Pickford will keep his place. Even though there's certain players that are kind of in better form at the minute, and I think that. He's not going to make too many wholesale changes. So I expect Sterling to start. I don't think that. What's interesting is that a lot of people are saying Sancho not only might not start, but might not even go. which I find really weird.
Yeah,
because,
look, I find that a little bit weird as well. I know he's not, when he's put on the England shirt, he hasn't done enough. But generally, look, he's one of the best players for Dortmund.
Yeah, he's one of the best players in Europe.
Yeah.
He's one of the best. So I would start, like, my front three to start would be Sterling, Kane, and Sancho, and with Rashford, potentially coming off the bench. I don't know.
Would you go for that? Because a lot of people are thinking the other way around. Sancho instead of Rashford instead of Sancho. For me, Rashford is a great player, but I think you need a little bit more from him. I think
he has moments in games, Rashford, and he's always a threat. He's always
absolutely.
a threat. You can't, as United, I'm talking about, not for England.
But if you brought him on, if you bring him on as for England, the other team is really going to start to, worry. Do you know what I mean? So I think that, I don't know. I think that I do think Sterling should start for England, and I would take Sancho, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So
do you think for United, it's a good season so far? Is it a good season if they come second in the league and get knocked out the Champions, the Europa?
No, they've got to win the Europa League.
Yeah.
It won't be a good season unless they win the Europa League, because we qualified for the Champions League last year. You've got to win the trophies. I mean, I like looking at the three teams that are left in it. You'd have to say United look the strongest team.
They do,
but if you don't win it, then that's like.
I
look also the thing is that it's like, going back to your Liverpool thing, is that if Liverpool don't make the Champions League, that could be potentially disastrous financially for the club. I think they might have to sell players potentially, but also with Arsenal as well, is that if they win we've got to stop them winning the Europa League as well, because they'll get into the Champions League if they win the Europa League. So I think the stakes are pretty big, pretty high there.
It's pretty high, isn't it? So just the top four goes out the window then, does it? The fourth place team goes out the window?
No. United have got to finish. They've got to finish second, but they should be doing both. They should be doing both. They can't let the standards.
Yeah, but they have improved though. When we say the seat,
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, we've gone up the table one place, and I think that we're on this long unbeaten run away from home that's like good, and we have been winning. Only lost 4 games all season,
which is great, isn't it?
No one's lost fewer.
Yeah, and it's 11 points behind City with a game in hand they play today.
Yeah, what would have been interesting to see how we'd have done this season if we didn't have to go to that silly Europa League tournament at the end of last season that was played in like August or July or whatever. If we have had a proper pre-season, then I don't think we would definitely not have lost to Crystal Palace or to Spurs. I don't think, and it would have been interesting to see. But look, it's all ifs, buts, and maybes. I mean, Liverpool had a pre-season, didn't they? And they've not done. So, I think that they suffered obviously the Van Dijk injury. Played a big part in their sort of collapse. And the fans thing I don't buy, because everyone's not got fans. I
think if anything, they've probably struggled a little bit more than what other clubs would have. I think that 12th man, the crowds. I think it's actually. Made a difference. I think.
There's a comment in here. Sorry to cut you. There's a comment in coming from Facebook saying if there was a full house at Anfield, Liverpool still wouldn't have won.
Who said that?
Yeah,
that's
true. That's true. 100%.
He knows a lot about football.
He does.
Look, I've been to Anfield a couple of times as a United fan, and it's yes, it's got its moments, singing to the speakers on "You'll Never Walk Alone" on a big European night, but it is a quiet ground, to be honest with you. And a lot of Scousers themselves say that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know 6 games in a row that you lost at home to like your likes of Brighton and Burnley and all that kind of stuff. The atmosphere is not exactly red hot when those people come into town. Do you know what I mean? So it's been overplayed, and a lot of teams have but then again, Ollie blames our home form on the
red seats,
the colour of the tarpaulin covering the seats, and I'm not sure about that, mate. But yeah, look, I don't know. Look, I think like Sheffield United, for example, they've got a very rowdy home support. Is them losing like 15 games down to that? I wouldn't say so. I think they've just had a poor season, and I think that with Liverpool. Yeah, they've missed fans and stuff like that. But look, like Atletico Madrid, they lost at home to Atletico Madrid with a full house last year, and So I don't think against Real Madrid this year that they would have perhaps won 3-0 if there was a full thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Look, I think that every team's with a lack of.
Let's just go on. I think we've got a few minutes left. We haven't got long. Somebody that has gone under the radar a little bit for us is got to be the Chelsea manager, in terms of what he's achieved and what he's done within the short period of space. Somebody sent me a stat yesterday. He's actually, is it Thomas Tuchel, is it? Yeah.
Wow. Tuchel.
I'll leave you to pronounce it. Yeah.
He's actually, this year, he's beaten Liverpool, he's beaten Man City, he's beaten United, he's beaten Atletico Madrid in the last 11 games or something. Ridiculous as that. So,
he beat United. Did he beat United?
He didn't beat United.
It was a draw, wasn't it?
Draw.
Oh, was it a draw?
Yeah. Because loads of United fans just say, "Oh, look at the names. Look at the one name that doesn't appear on this list." But look, he's done a fantastic job. I think that. Look, I was always. I never believed that Lampard would was the answer for Chelsea, and I think that. I think that Lampard was just brought in to navigate them through that transfer ban, and he did that. But Bichara, he got cut off.
He did well for that transfer ban, didn't he? He did well for Chelsea considering they had that ban and the players that he had. And I always thought the test was after the transfer ban if he can get the right players in.
Yeah, I mean, look, he got Havertz. He got Havertz in, and and Werner, and he got it was £200 million worth of players, and they didn't look like challenging.
No.
So I think that it might, they were right to sack him, but Tuchel has come in. He's got them through to the Champions League semi-final, and he's got them into the FA Cup final, and so you can't really argue with that.
No, do you reckon they got...
So Lampard got into the Lampard got.
Yeah, I think Lampard, if anything, he's lacking the experience of what Tuchel's obviously got. Going back onto the other point that I was making, if you look at Chelsea, Tuchel has beaten Guardiola, Klopp, Simeone, Mourinho, and Ancelotti in the last 81 days. So he's up there as a manager, isn't he?
Well, PSG obviously didn't think he was up there.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with that. I think he didn't do enough at PSG. Do you think he's a little bit defensive, Bidan?
I don't. Well, look, I don't. He doesn't really have a style. Do you know what I mean? It's like I haven't watched this play and just think, oh, right, you've got this absolutely amazing swashbuckling style. That he's just a functional manager. Do you know what I mean? He's like not as defensive as Mourinho, but he doesn't like. It's not like Guardiola, where it's beautiful passing football. I think he's just fun. As a lot of German teams are, as the German national team is. It's just functional and well organised and well drilled. He probably does his homework tactics wise. It's nothing special to watch, to be honest with you. I mean,
brilliant. I mean, we're coming right up to the end of time. As always, you've done your homework, Bidan. Thank you very much for your time. We won't be back next week. Next week there's a charity fundraiser, so Salaam Sports won't be on the air. I'm sure you'll miss us all, but we should be back after that. So hopefully see you all. Arif, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And for all your help and assistance during this time as my co-host. And inshallah, I'll see you in a fortnight. Please take care of yourselves and enjoy the rest of Ramadan. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
बिला